Dixon and COPD.
After my car accident, I wondered what my case was worth. So I call the Barnes.
I'm Rich Barnes. Is your accident case worth more than insurance offered? Call the Barnes firm now to find out. You might be surprised.
Breaking right now at 3, the war in Iran expands. U.S. embassies come under attack, while the president now says the U.S. attacked, and what California Senator Alex Padilla just told us about the operation. And it's 100 days until the World Cup here in L.A. One of the first matches involves Iran. The preparations now underway for soccer fans from around the globe.
The NBC4 News at 3 starts with breaking news.
Breaking right now at 3, attacks intensify in Iran and surrounding countries as stranded Americans are desperate to return to the U.S. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Annabelle Sedano. The U.S. Central Command released this new video of missiles launching from American ships, calling the strikes overwhelming and unrelenting. Iran is retaliating with drone strikes that have forced the U.S. to close embassies in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Beirut. And Americans are being ordered to leave, but getting home is not that easy. After dropping more than 1,000 points in early trading, stocks rebounded, ending the day down 403 points. The cost of crude oil keeps climbing, and with it, gas prices. We want to begin with Conan Nolan. He has the latest developments in Iran and the political response in Congress. Conan, there's still so many questions out there.
Right, and just a moment ago, we talked with U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, Democrat of California, who was part of the briefing on Capitol Hill from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The fact is, though, that the Secretary of State is changing the story just a little bit from what he said just yesterday in a previous briefing to the congressional media.
With the Chancellor of Germany, saying that the U.S. started the war with Iran essentially to beat them to the punch.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it.
The president claims the U.S. and Israeli airstrikes have knocked out Iran's weapon detection system.
We're hit them very hard. The scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection.
Still, the president's comments today on the timing and reason for the attack contradict Secretary of State Marco Rubio told congressional leadership yesterday.
We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces.
Rubio today said there was no confusion.
This is an action by the president to address a real threat, hostilities designed to eliminate a threat to the safety and the security of the United States and to our allies.
Messaging from the White House is that the goals of the administration are to eliminate Iran's ability to wage war, develop a nuclear bomb, or export terrorism. The president was asked what could be the worst-case scenario.
I guess the worst case would be we do this and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person.
California Senator Alex Padilla believes that comment should concern the state's large Iranian-American population, which had celebrated the death of the hated supreme leader of Iran. That Iran's future could look a lot like that of Venezuela's.
Maduro was taken out. The regime has not changed. Life for the people of Venezuela has not substantively changed. And so for the United States to lead on this action in Iran without a clear plan for what comes next or who comes next, I think should worry a lot of people with relatives still in Iran.
Meanwhile, the war is impacting the world's energy sources, with Iran targeting the region's oil fields and shipping in the Strait of Hormuz shut down, pushing oil prices higher, in turn leading to rising costs at the gas pumps. The president downplaying the impact.
If we have a little high oil prices for a little while, but as soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
Once again, the Secretary of State saying that the attacks on Iran from the U.S. Air Force, the Air Command, as well as the Israeli Air Force are going to intensify. They believe that more destruction is on the way. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
Hey, Conan, do you believe Iran will ever make a deal with the U.S.?
Well, apparently the Iranian effort is to make this as costly a war as possible. For the allies in the region, that's why the attacks continue against Saudi Arabia, against Qatar, and to increase the price of gasoline here. They want to put pressure on the White House by making the world around the United States very difficult to navigate. There's no way they can win this war militarily, but they are hoping to win it through the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and we are definitely starting to feel that impact. Conan, thank you so much for that. And this afternoon, the Secretary of State is urging Americans stuck in the Middle East to reach out to the U.S. government so they can arrange flights out of the region. These are the countries Americans are advised to leave. Take a look at the map. You see right there. They're advised to leave immediately. NBC4's Camilla Ribaldi joins us live from LAX with an update on flight operations there. Camilla.
Hi, Annabelle. Good afternoon to you. As you just mentioned, we learned this afternoon from the State Department that it's coordinating those charter flights for U.S. citizens that are stranded right now in the Middle East. And we've been monitoring the boards here this afternoon. A flight from Istanbul this morning was on time this evening, but we also did see a flight to Doha this afternoon that was canceled. Again, as you mentioned, those charter flights are being organized right now. Today, the State Department announced that it's securing those charter flights for Americans trying to leave the Middle East from the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that they have about 1,500 Americans that are requesting assistance right now with those departures. And the Department of State also mentioned today that there is a hotline number that you can call to coordinate those departures for assistance. Some travelers reported today that they couldn't get through. Those are from some reports online that we have been seeing. And I've reached out to the Department of State regarding that number that was provided for Americans in the Middle East. I am still waiting to hear back. The Department of State is also asking all U.S. citizens in the region right now to register online for its Smart Traveler program at stepstate.gov. And we will have much more coming up here at 4:30 from travelers here at LAX. And we will also hear more from Secretary of State Marco Rubio this afternoon. That's the latest from LAX. Camilla Rambaldi, NBC4 News.
All right, Camilla, appreciate the update there. And our coverage on Iran continues on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. Click on Iran on the trending bar at the top to get minute-by-minute updates on the live blog. Meantime, the World Cup is now 100 days away, but there are more concerns about the global event and whether or not Iran will play. There's also concern about the safety of the matches in Mexico after the recent cartel violence. That said, everything so far is going as planned. This year, the big event is coming to our own backyard. So starting in June, you can watch live matches at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. The stadium will soon go through a major transformation to get ready for soccer fans.
And it will be a 18-hour days here soon. After mid-April, to be able to get this fully ready for June 12th.
NBC4's Keenan Willard will have a live report on SoFi Stadium's preparations for the World Cup, and that's coming up at 4 o'clock. And California just landed more than $18 million in federal funding for transportation and infrastructure upgrades to handle World Cup traffic. Senator Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff say it's part of a funding bill that will also deliver $94 million for LA 28 transit. An update on a deadly confrontation between Pasadena police and an alleged gunman. Take a look. This afternoon, the field training officer who was shot is out of surgery and in stable condition. He's been identified as Brian Vasquez. He's a 5-year veteran of the department. Now, this all started around 7:30 last night when someone reported a shooting at the train station on Sierra Madre Villa Avenue along the 210 freeway. When officers got there, they say the shooter started running away, leading to a police chase. And at some point, shots were exchanged and the alleged gunman was killed. NBC4 spoke with the man's grandmother.
Mental problem. He was on medication. And that's all I can say. Right now, I'm in shock. And I know that I'm going to be feeling it soon.
As for the person who was initially shot at the train station, police say he was hit in the shoulder and taken to the hospital. He's recovering this afternoon. New at 3, the 17-year-old college student at the center of that massive FBI investigation in Irvine is speaking out for the first time. You may remember this since federal agents and hazmat teams took over his neighborhood 1 week ago. Alman Fritz sat down with NBC4's Hetty Chang at his lawyer's office today. The fourth-year biology student at UC Irvine says he was doing a science experiment at home that he hopes will lead to breakthroughs in medicine for cancer patients. Fritz says he was using proper protective gear and did not believe what he was mixing was dangerous. His lawyer says he was mixing chemicals commonly known as nail polish remover, Epsom salts, water, and rubbing alcohol. The 17-year-old says while he respects law enforcement, he believes the whole situation is a big misunderstanding.
This has been truly a personal battle for me because I lost my aunt to cancer in 2020, and that has been really difficult for me to deal with. And through science, I believe that we can help millions of people with these kinds of diseases. And I've been out of my home for around a week now, so I hope that we can really clear up this misunderstanding and that we can head home.
And the FBI says it's finished its work in Fritz's neighborhood in Irvine, but the investigation is continuing. Now, they declined to give us a response to Fritz's comments. The FBI says no one has been charged. We will, of course, have much more from Alvin coming up on the NBC4 News at 4.
Sheriff Luna, thank you for being here. I know you should be out fighting crime, stopping people, but you're here protecting me, and that means a lot, so thank you.
Friends, family.